Hey guys, so fun to see all of you. I'm going to mute myself in just a moment. So this is our every other week team call. I'm hoping they continue to grow and grow and grow. Actually, I'm not hoping, I know they will. So I'm super excited. Sarah is one of my personally sponsored amazing diamond coaches who is just building her and growing her team this year. And I can't wait for you guys to hear from her because I love her and I get to chat with her often. Who is that?
Somebody's not muted.
Oh, somebody.
Who's not muted?
It's okay. Is it me or Dana?
Not me.
I love Dana. She's like, no, it ain't me. So, but I'm excited for you guys to hear from her. So her perspective on everything is so just refreshing, and I'm looking forward to this call. We'll record it so that others can get to be in on it as well. So I'm going to mute myself and let you take over. Did I hit record, right? Where are we at? Okay, okay, good. I did. Okay, here I go. Mute.
Awesome. Record. Pressure. So yes, I'm Sarah. Hi, I know some of you. I don't know some of your names actually. I've seen you, I guess, in the group, but it's nice to put faces to names. So I love being able to see people on here. It's great. So yeah, I'm Sarah. I have been coaching for, hi Katie. I have been coaching for about 1.5 years. And it's been amazing. It feels like it's not been 1.5 years, and yet at the same time, it feels like it's been like 5 years. It's quite interesting feeling there. I am an emerald to a T when it comes to the jewel personality test. No, not emeralds. I'm a pearl to a T with an emerald side. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Jen's face, she's like, what? No, you're not. So I like everything written out, like outline style with bullets, you know, numbers under the bullets, a few letters under the, like, I like everything. I did not do that for this because I love the idea of a whole bunch of girlfriends getting together and just talking about why and what and how our fire is lit and why we stay up late to talk to people, or why we get our butts out of bed in the morning to work out, or why we're reading books when we'd rather go watch The Bachelorette or whatever else. Like, I just want us to get together and talk, and when I can see your faces and just, we're just hanging out and chatting. So I did not do my bullets and my outline. I'm just gonna shoot from the hip and just share me and just see what happens. If I screw up and it's a total disaster, that's fantastic, because that's being real and raw, and then maybe somebody else doing a call won't feel so bad. So that's what we're going. So I'm gonna start. Well, I'm going to start first off. My story starting Beachbody as a coach, I was kind of a slow starter, honestly. I had a lot to overcome inside my head. My growth it was fine growth, but it wasn't like some of the stories you hear. They're just like, wow, like you just took off. No, I was not a taker offer. I was very slow. And I guess that's kind of where and how I want to share, I want to share today's tonight's call is growth. I was thinking about like where I'm at in my team, in my business, and number one thing is I want to see growth. And I think all of us want to see growth, you know, financial growth, with our own selves, personal growth, fitness growth. Like growth is kind of a big word for me. So what I did coming to this call is I wrote down, just for myself so I could know where I was at with my business, like a few things that I need to work on in order to establish a stronger team, establish more growth. And I'll just read them to you. Literally, I wrote them out. It was, I need to work on inviting. We all need to work on inviting. Just gonna throw that one out there. Sharing my story, fitness, shakes, personal development, whatever it is. Like, I need to work on sharing my story more consistently. I need to work on inviting coaches. I need to share the opportunity. And then I need to work on personal development. I'm consistent like a day. I skip a day, I go for a day. I skip 5 days, and I go for like 2 weeks. I'm on it. But that's not what creates growth. It's a consistent every single day. So those are those 4 things that really I need to work on. And I was looking at them, and I said, wait a second. Those are basically the 4 vital behaviors. Leave out, of course, the recognition, which that I'm pretty good with. But literally what I needed to work on was what Beachbody gives us when we start our business and says, these are the vital behaviors. This is the vital life of your business. And I wrote down what I needed to work on, and it was literally the vital behavior. So this is what I want us to do. There's how many people on this call? 7 people on this call right now? I can't quite see. What I would like to do is answer a couple questions at the end of this conversation. I would like one person for each vital behavior to share something that they have done, hopefully in this last week, because hopefully we're that on it. If not, then maybe dig back for 2 weeks. What you have done, one thing for one vital behavior that you have done that's been successful for you. Not something you have heard on a call or read in some training, nothing. Just something you personally have done to find success in inviting. Something small, simple, a little tip. And I would like at the very end, hopefully I don't have to call on people, maybe just think about it now, that you can share. And then if you wouldn't mind recording those or writing them down so that you can post them in the group, so that we come away from this call not only feeling like we're connected, girl power, hearing about people's story, my story, but also with tips how to actually have practical, simple momentum growth. Because the vital behaviors, quite frankly, is, well, that's it. Name of the game. Like if you want to move your business forward, start with the vital behaviors and the rest will come from that. So I thought it'd be kind of nice to have some extra tips at the end, not just a story you guys did here today. So there's that. So Katie, I mentioned you a little while ago, if you would mind being my timer, because I can talk. So I'm giving myself like 20 minutes to share my story and my why. And in 20 minutes, if you could like unmute yourself and like start screaming at me or raise your hand or whatever you want to do. That'd be great. So I kind of know where we're at. And then the rest of the time we can be talking about vital behaviors. I hope that's okay. Thanks. Okay, so my story. So I'm an introvert, by the way. So sharing my story is kind of hard. But I'm going to do it anyways because I love you guys. And I think it's important for us to demystify what we do and who we are. Whether you're a diamond coach or a brand new coach or an emerald, you know, it's just demystifying success and making it have a face. So here's me, my story. I'm going to go back ways. I grew up very healthy. My mom has a lot of health issues, so we ate sprouted buckwheat pancakes. That was like the thing. Very 1980s disgusting health food back then. I'll just call it out. It was really bad. She'd come at us with like spoons full of chlorophyll and like just nasty stuff. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really healthy. Tastes awful. But anyways, I grew up really healthy. My mom, again, had a lot of health issues. But there's no like portion control. It's like you eat healthy, you can just eat whatever. So I ate. And I also had undiagnosed food allergies, which creates a lot of cravings. So I was a cheese girl. Go for all the cheese. Still am. Love my cheese. And bread and everything that literally would just pack on pounds, but I was never taught proper portions. I was never taught like how to watch what you eat. I mean, you don't want to create complex in a little girl, but you also need to teach your kids how to eat healthy or eating healthy, but it wasn't healthy. Proper portions. And knowing when you're full and stopping, and you have to demonstrate that honestly to your kids. Anyway, so I was always heavy, and I didn't really know it until I was in high school. I was short, 5'4", 5'3". I grew a little bit, 5'4", but I was like around 145, 155. And when you're in high school and your sister is like maybe about 10 and she's like 5'7", like the complex that I took on, I was always overweight. I was always unlovable. I was all the things we tell ourselves if we don't feel comfortable in our skin. And again, I mean, I'm in high school. Like bad things happen there as far as emotions and how you feel about yourself. So it ended up turning into bulimia, to be honest. That I just discovered that. No one told me, like it just happened, and anorexia. And I battled that. And for me, it was a quick fix, which as you get older, it turns into more quick fixes and more diets and more laxative pills. And you just go on this really, really shady downhill slope. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you just feel like crap. Like it's not cool. You don't feel alive or that you can conquer the world. You just don't feel good. But it's all because you want to look a certain way, right? So it's all image. There's no internal growth. You're not doing personal growth. You're not you're sacrificing your health in order for an image, basically. We all know that. But anyway, so teenager years kind of sucked physically. And then I just started getting active. I started running. I started losing some weight. Then I met my husband, who was very active, and fell in love. And of course, so for our wedding, what do you do for a wedding? Crash diets, destroy your body, fit in that dress, at all costs, fit in that dress. So that's what I did, and I just, I was already unhealthy, and I already had undiagnosed eating or allergies. It was a bad combination. The thing is, the more and more women I talk to, this story is not unusual. Like, they grow up unhealthy, or they grow up somewhat healthy, but they just don't learn how to eat. They don't understand about fitness. They don't understand nutrition. So they just keep doing this. And then they talk to me, and I'm like, no, let's get you on a consistent health journey. It all starts in your head. But let's, yeah. So it's not, what I went through is not unheard of. It's actually pretty standard, which is sad, which is where Beachbody comes in. Part of my why. But my husband's really into rock climbing, and I started getting into it, really started focusing on fitness and health. And someone in a rock climbing gym suggested P90X because we wanted to have a little extra edge to our climbing. And so we went to eBay and got the cheapest version we could buy and started it. Those are long programs. Those are really long programs. So we did it as a new married couple. We saw amazing results. I was the thinnest I'd ever been, naturally. I was strong. I was happy. It was amazing. And honestly, it was just because I could work out. I hate gyms, by the way. I tried gyms. The gym membership just sat there, and it was a disaster. So that's a side note, but yeah. But working at home really worked for me. So anyways, I got my allergies tested. I started feeling better. The world was my oyster. And I got pregnant, and I gained 60 pounds, and I was back to ground zero, all this shame of being overweight, not knowing what to do, and the classic story. I am classic. Seriously, I'm classic. I think we all kind of are. We just need to realize that. Anyways, so I gained a lot of weight, and then I dusted off my P90X copy after baby was about 6 months old and started working out again. And it was a slow grind. It was a really slow grind because I wasn't watching my nutrition. It was just fitness at that point. But P90X had worked, and it was working again. And I was able to lose almost all of it. I got pregnant again, gained all of it back, and sub. And that's when I was watching, thankfully, Beachbody does infomercials, and I saw the Brazilian butt lift. I always wanted a nice perky butt, so I got it. And it's the craziest workout. I don't know if I should die laughing or if I should die with my butt on fire. Like, either way, like, seriously. But it works. Like, it literally works. I love that program. If I'm having a bad day, I put that on and I'm happy. Like, it's really funny. Like, if you don't have it, you should try it. Anyways, I lost all of the weight. All plus some and I didn't know about Beachbody coaching. I didn't know about Shakeology. I was just doing everything. I was learning a lot of nutrition at that point, but oh yeah, and step back. When I learned about my food allergies, I went to raw food. And I was a raw foodist for about 5 years, and I do not suggest that as a long-term solution for health, but it taught me so much about the nutrition world. And I also worked at an enzyme research facility. So I was very much inundated with nutrition and health. And that has been amazing for me in my journey, just knowing so much about our bodies and how they work. And I'm able to give that to other people and our clients as well. So yeah, so I got really, really in good shape with BBL. Everyone in my group, like literally everybody buys that because I talk about it so much. But and then I was a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 kids. And I just felt something nagging inside of me that I just needed to create something. I needed something to put my stamp on it. I needed to give something. I needed to be more than just a stay-at-home mom. And while I loved it, it was great. I needed something to light my fire, something that got me really excited and passionate about. And I felt like I was actually contributing, not just being a good floor sweeper and Cheerio picker-upper. And actually, at that point, my sister was actually one who told me about Beachbody coaching. I had no idea. So we talk about being an oversaturated market. I had no idea, and I was very much in fitness world. I had followed Beachbody. I didn't know. I had no idea. So there are people out there like me that need the opportunity, not just the products, but they need the opportunity of coaching for how much it's changed me. So I always go back and think about that when I hear people say, you know, Beachbody is just everywhere, because it's really not, actually. You might have to dig a little bit, you might have to get creative, but it's not oversaturated. So Jen and I literally found each other. We've been stalking each other for a little while, and she just messaged me randomly and was just like, hey, I can't remember what you said. Something like, do you want to do what you're doing and get paid for it? Like, you're crazy. Like, you should do this. I answered, yes, I'm in. Yes, let's do it. I guess shocked her a little bit with that answer, but you know, so I did it and I launched, and holy bananas. So if a year and a half, people tell me all the time, you're such a different person. Like, you're amazing before, you're sweet and kind and genuine and all that, but now you are passionate, you're very direct, you're focused, you are just this light inside of you. You just seem so different. Like, what is it about you? And I'm like, oh, let me tell you. It is a lot of books. It is a lot of personal development. It is a lot of journaling. It is a lot of working out. It is a lot of pushing past the fear. And I'll just tell them all this, just be honest. But yeah, so there's my story. I probably missed a whole lot and probably was maybe hopping around a bit, but I wanted to become a Beachbody coach, not only to have something to sink my teeth into and create, but I so believe in the product. Like, I didn't know about coaching. Like, I didn't know about any of this. For me, it was the product. It worked. It just answered all these questions for me that I didn't understand: fitness, even nutrition side with 21 Day Fix, all this stuff. Like, the product is something I stand behind 100%. I'm passionate about it. So it kind of was a no-brainer. Like, yes, I need to do this. This is like a perfect pathway. And I believe in God 100%. And like, I know without a shadow of doubt that this is something that He offered me, not just to make finances for our family and pay for the groceries and pay for my car payment. Like, he offered this because I needed to change. I needed something that basically would probably wrap up 5 or 10 years, 20, I don't know, 15 years of who I could be, how I could grow. And He completely changed the trajectory of my growth in like a year and a half. Shrink it down. And I know I probably would have found all the information and the tools that Beachbody gives us, and the coaches that we tell each other, books to read, and just the challenges of getting past your fear and talking to people and putting yourself out there and getting on a call like tonight, which is really uncomfortable for me. But I'm pushing past that fear. Like, I probably could have done that on a long road, but it shrank it down. And now, because of this, I really feel the Lord has given me so many more opportunities in my life, this one life I have, because of the coaching opportunity. And again, the coaching opportunity is so much more than just copy and pasting your daily assignments in a challenge group. Like, that is just one little itty thing we do. It's, for me, coaching is about facing your fear so you don't live a life of fear. So you're not constantly hiding in your house. You're not constantly covering yourself up with clothes. You're not afraid to go talk to somebody, some stranger on the street, and just give them a word of encouragement because you face that fear of talking to people, which is a silly fear. A lot of us have it. Or another fear, whatever things you have. Like, to me, Beachbody coaching has changed me head to toe, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally, to be strong, to know if I'm having a bad day emotionally. You know what? I know how to deal with that. I go put in some personal development, I snap myself out of it, and I then am able to walk towards the goals that I have set before me. That before, I would downward spiral. I get stressed out, I go maybe take a shot of vodka, or I go binge, or whatever I would do to try to make myself feel better. Instead of now, I know that I can sit down and journal out my feelings. I can embrace the feelings and work through them. And then on the outside, have learned something and then continue on my journey. Like, to go from, I would think, in order to get to that place of personal growth, that's a lot of therapy. That's a very expensive therapy. And it's more than just a year and a half of therapy, because while you can go talk to somebody for an hour or so, a week, or whatever therapy is, you're not being forced to like daily work on this stuff. Like, with coaching, I am daily having to work on my fears every day. I get up and I hit my personal development first and foremost, even before I open my challenge group, because I know that there could be something in there that could bring up some fears or bring up something in me that I hadn't dealt with or hadn't been prepared to deal with yet. So every day I get the opportunity to embrace what I'm learning, and I'm going on a total tangent right here. I'm completely lost where I was going to go because, yeah. Anyways, okay. So let's see. What else is left of my story? With Beachbody, Katie, where am I at? Am I close? Hello? Oh, I have 6.5 minutes. Okay. With my story and my why for Beachbody coaching, it's changed. When I first started, honestly, again, it was just to sink my teeth into something to kind of get out of the baby cocoon. I love to make a little money. And then it changed very quickly to, oh my gosh, this is a lot more in depth than I thought. This requires a lot more personal growth. Okay, let's dig a little deeper into our why. And now my why is, yes, finances. I would love to have a business, a thriving business, and be able to take our family on vacations, buy a new house, whatever. But that's not my why. Like, I love the finances, but what I love about, and my why is so much changed, is it's what Beachbody's coaching, being a working mom from home, what that'll give me, right? So that gives me peace of mind. That gives me a platform to talk to people. That gives me, I'm able to expand my heart to share more with people. Like, it just gives me so much more. So your why will always change. And it should. You always have like a one good like anchor that doesn't change, and everything else does change. I was gonna go somewhere with that. I got distracted. I see your faces, and I'm like, oh my gosh, do they like me? See, fear. We all have to deal with our fear. But yeah, so my story, when I first started, lots of fear. About 6 months into it, I was hit diamond. I was successful. I lost a lot of people. Lost my coaches, a couple coaches that were not in the season for them to coach. I went down. I went back up. I went back down. I went back up. That's coaching, right? So if you allow your identity to be wrapped up in coaching, you're going to go down, right? You have to make sure that you fill yourself with personal development, and you are on a constant, like, your eyes are always there, because the Beachbody coaching you'll go up and down. Coaching life is up and down. And back to what I said with, it's your opportunity. If you have a bad day, you know how to pop it out with personal development. So everything literally that I tell my coaches, I think anybody actually, is personal development. If they're having a bad day, PD. Just do PD. That's it. That's all I got for you. You feel like you haven't hit SC yet? Fine. Just do some PD. You'll get it. Like, that's it. That's my answer for everything. And to myself, it was my husband. He's having a bad day. I'm like, okay, you're fine. Go do some PD, and then come back and talk to me in like 10 minutes, and we'll have a good conversation. So anyways, that's one thing that's consistently got me through the 1.5 years of coaching, because you will want to quit. Sometimes you'll want to quit. In fact, you will literally be done, walk away, close your computer, I'm done. And then like an hour later, you're like, wait a second. Maybe I just need to go read something, and then, get out of that mindset. And you'll be so grateful. You'll be so grateful that you stuck it out and that you pushed through. So that's probably 6.5 minutes, Katie. So vital behaviors. I think I wrote down my answer. I may not have written down my answer. Inviting, personal development, recognition, and proof the product works. What is one person inviting in the last week? What is one little teeny tiny tip that you have done that has worked for you? Anybody, everybody? Just a little tip. I'm probably going to have to call on somebody, or I might have to answer it. Okay, so my husband does a lot of calls, and this is what he told me to do. He said, get them talking at the end. Talk, talk, talk. So we're talking. Talk, talk, talk. Let me get you in a different view so I can see everybody. Uh-oh, I lost everybody. Okay. No takers? Nobody?
I will, or we can just call on people. I always love doing that. One of the things that I've done, which this is probably, common sense, or what everybody does, but that's the thing, like you said, like you started the call, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. This billion-dollar organization put all this in place. So one of the things that I went back to this week was every single person that's liked one of my posts. I go through and see who they are, and obviously if they're coaches, it gives me an opportunity to chat with people, even if they're coaches. It just gives me opportunity to chat with people, catch up, or, hey, I go leave a message. Hey, girl, I saw that you liked one of my posts recently, and I go right for the invite. I've got a summer shape up group starting. I can't believe it's already here. My kids only have 2 days left of school, and, I'd love to have you joining. So that's something that I'm doing, and I've got like 6 or 7 people that they're getting back to me while we're on the call that I can, get back to chatting with them after this. So I know that's so simple, but these are people that are seeing your posts. And I know my personality, I probably, if I was interested in something, would be way quicker to like a post than to shoot a message over. So that's something that I've done.
That's good. That's brilliant. Yeah, no need to reinvent the wheel, right?
No.
Yeah.
What else, guys? What else?
So how about the next one? So PD. What's a book you're reading? What is a podcast? What is something you took away from PD? Or how does PD help you invite? Or what's a snippet of personal development that is a tip for everybody? Should I call on somebody? Christine.
Okay. I have been enjoying the Mamas in Control podcast that Katie recommended, and I've been listening to them while I'm folding laundry and doing housework, and so that's been great. It's definitely I found it to be about family relationships more so than Beachbody coaching, but I've really been enjoying them, and I've got a private group of friends who have reached out to me and asked for help, but they don't really want help. But I've got a private group of friends who've asked for help, and so I've shared with them different things that were in the podcasts and just little tidbits of information. And I'm also reading It Starts with Food. And so I'll tell them, I'm like, you guys, you should really read this. It's about how your food affects your hormones and this, that, and the other. None of them are interested in reading it. They're like, oh, tell us about it. Okay. It's a book that's this thick. I can't tell you everything verbatim. But I have been enjoying some PD and sharing it, but that's about it.
No, that's good. And that's actually something that I wrote down and totally didn't say, so thank you for bringing it up. With personal development, for me, I read my personal growth book, but I'm also always reading a nutrition book alongside, or a fitness book alongside, because that is what we do. We're not experts in fitness, thankfully, but it is wise to have a closet full of information in your brain that you can just pull out, whether it's about gluten or whether it's about whatever. It's just nice to have little tips. And I love putting those little tips in my challenge groups. So like tip of the day, why, the 5 reasons why you drink water, which a lot of that you can honestly go to Pinterest and find. But it is nice to have read the nutrition books, so you can recommend, or so you can talk to people about that. So for me, that's an addition to my personal development that I do, and I try to have my coaches do as well. So thank you, Christine, for reminding me. And that's brilliant. PD while you're folding laundry is like awesome. It works. If you're going to be folding laundry anyways.
Another great resource is the Team Beachbody blog. So you could make posts out of what you see there. I see other people doing that, and they sound so knowledgeable with these posts. I'm like, and part of me, you trace it back to the Team Beachbody blog, and there's so much great information about why to cook with this, and why to take baths with this, and why to use this over this, and just great. And those are all simple posts. You can put them in your words and make them fun and educational, add value like that.
Absolutely.
That's a great idea. Thank you. Those will be the ones that I listen to next. I've got piles and piles of laundry on my bed that I need to fold tonight. So I'll start there. Thank you.
Have fun with that.
I listen to a lot of Audible books, and I think you can actually send a free book to the first time user. So I've been doing that with a lot of people that I think a particular book would help them. And it's just, building value in their life and then trying to build a connection with them at the same time. So, maybe that's a way for you to kind of share some of them with your people, Christine.
No, that's a great idea. And it's back to, like you said, adding value, right? So it might be a quick thing for you to just send somebody some, like for me, I do podcasts. I love Spotify's podcasts. And if there's something good, I'll just quick forward it to somebody. And like you said, Sarah, it does. It adds value and it helps them. And you're not just, we're not just here to try to push challenge packs. Like we really are genuinely here to help people. So if you can find little things like that, that just adds value, people are like, wow, thank you so much. And that, you know what? That person is probably in your sales funnel for the next however long. Like they are now focused on you and they appreciate that. And chances are, if they do get in a challenge group, they'll actually get change because they trust you. And you have that connection. So that's brilliant, Sarah. Good job. What's next? Recognition. How are you guys with recognition? I know I talk a lot to people. I send tons of like private messages. I love it when Jen calls people out. I love being one of those people. I love, it feels good. Everyone loves to be loved on. And I've noticed that if in my page, my personal page, if I comment on somebody or tell somebody how amazing they are, just send a little word of encouragement, everybody can see. I've noticed that people start responding to that and then just to me. And something I've kind of noticed is the more you encourage other people, people pop up because they want to be recognized too. And it seems silly, but more eyes on your stuff, more eyes on what you're doing, more opportunity to share value. So recognition has a huge amount of opportunity. So what is one little thing that, I know Katie, you're fantastic at doing that. What's one little tip that that you have for us that you've been doing?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I escaped. My husband got home, so I ran in here real quick. I try, of course, if I have a coach that, once they rank advanced, then I'll focus on that for the week for the coach recognition. But I try to at least once a week do a coach spotlight now that I'm building up a team, and then also a challenger spotlight because I do a lot of, I always do a transformation Tuesday and a throwback Thursday. I try to do a lot of side-by-sides, but I don't want people to only see me. I want people to see other people's success, either in the business or just in the challenge group using the products and going through the process. So that's one of the things I have on my checklist for the week is just to at least shout out one challenger and one coach. And, if you do it on Facebook and you tag them, then it's going to pop up on their news feed. So then other people are going to see. And a lot of times I get, I don't get the comments, but people will comment on the post to that person and some of them know what they're doing, or some of them don't. And they're like, oh, wow, I didn't know you were doing this. So I think it not only kind of puts eyes on them, but it can also put eyes on us too, that if this is just a challenger that I'm shouting out, then it kind of opens up some opportunities to talk with people that may know them, and want to get started or need some help getting started. If they're not a coach that's ready to help them get started.
That's great.
But yeah, that's just one thing that I've kind of made. I try to make it non-negotiable. I don't say I do it every week, but I enjoy doing it. Like you said, I enjoy when I get kind of shouted out. So I know other people do too. So I think it just makes us all feel good.
It does. Absolutely. No, you do a fantastic job there. I love seeing your recognition posts. And it kind of helps me as a coach to get to know your team a little bit too, or your challengers. And on that note, kind of off it for a second, but kind of on it, is a total side note, and we got 2 minutes and something left here, but whenever you are having a bad day, you just kind of were like, man, it'd be nice to connect with somebody, but you're not like reaching out, or you're having a bad day. Think about somebody else feeling that way as a Beachbody coach, or as yourself being a coach. Think about somebody else having a bad day and reach out to them, whether against recognition or whether it's just messaging them or whatever, because you are literally going to plant seeds and just open them up to you. Because we all love the recognition. We all love to feel special, that somebody's thinking about us. And that's forming, right? It's just letting someone know that we're interested in them as a friend, which we all are, and start from there. So thank you, Katie. And the last one is proof the product works. I think we all know. You got to push play. You got to get up. You got to push play. But any quick tips on that? And the minute left. I'll do a quick tip. I'm not a morning person. I have an autoimmune disease that like literally in the morning, my body hurts so bad. But the only time I don't have kids, so I can do my personal development is in the morning. So I will literally have a glass of water and my Beachbody Energize next to my bedstand table. And literally, like, I roll over and, like, pour, shake, drink, and then I'm up. And then I can get something done. And then typically it's, within 30 minutes, I try to get a workout in or something. But just, you got to get yourself moving. So whether it's, we all know this, and we tell our challengers this, put your clothes on the night before, put your clothes out, your workout clothes out the night before. Sleep in your bra. Sounds silly. If you wake up with your sports bra on, you're more likely to go get a workout in. Name sounds silly, but there's that. Other fitness tips, yeah, just do it, honestly. I think I read or listened to a podcast. You have literally 5 to 10 seconds when you first think of something before your stop impulse comes in. So literally you think, I need to get my workout in, you wrote it down the time, all right, 5 seconds later, you'll talk yourself out of it already. So write it down, the time you're gonna work out, and then don't give yourself anything past 5 minutes and just get it 5 seconds and get it done. So there's that. And literally we're out of time. Thank you guys for letting me share and let me just ramble and just be me. And I love seeing all your faces. I cannot wait to see each of us grow. And by doing the vitals, right? Just do the basics. Don't make this complicated. If you make it complicated, you won't see the growth. So the